Good morning team, Gavin here from Growing Younger. Today's video is going to be pretty short, but it's about the connection between sleep and weight loss and in general fitness, I guess. So as when I was a shift worker, and I was a shift worker for 21 years, and what I used to find is I used to get very, very hungry all the time. It's like uncontrollable hunger. So being a fat guy at heart, you know, that isn't a good thing for me. So the first sort of 10 years, I guess, of shift working, I used to just give into it, and obviously I was very, very, very overweight. Then, you know, get to a point where line in the sand was enough, sick and tired of being in this cycle of always hungry, always overweight, always tired, and, you know, kind of figure this stuff out. So when I did figure it out, I used to kind of be hyper aware of my hunger, how I felt, how hungry I was. And I used to find that the more tired I was, the more hungry I was. So as I obviously became more educated and understood myself a little bit better, what I used to figure out is kind of two hunger hormones at sort of battle on a daily basis. One's ghrelin and one is leptin. And ghrelin essentially is your hunger hormone. And ghrelin is there obviously from an evolutionary standpoint to make sure you eat and make sure you stay energized and, you know, healthy, right? Whereas leptin will stop you from eating. It's your sensor to say, look, you've eaten enough now, you don't need to eat anymore, okay? So what I used to find on shift work, and because it's a very extreme example, is that on a night shift, or when you had 4 or 5 hours sleep, which is quite regular, you know, those days would be like incredible, and I'd be hungry. And it didn't matter what I ate, I was still hungry. It was all good, right? So that's kind of where my fitness plan used to come in for me, was it used to give me a limit. So even if I'd ate, you know, I knew my limit was like, say, 2,000 calories. When I'd eat 2,000 calories, that was a signal for me to stop, because my ghrelin was wanting me to eat more. And what I used to do was like, well, I've eaten 2,000 calories today, I'm not hungry. And that's how I justified it to myself, okay? And that's how I managed to get through it. But what it means for you guys is that if you're like simply, you know, find yourself not sleeping enough, you generally become more hungry throughout the day. And you might not even realize, you might not even notice, but that's the reason why. So what I kind of learned was, okay, and what I found to be a fantastic, a fantastic way of dealing with it is instead of, like, obviously you need a waking up alarm, but have it a go to bed alarm, okay? It's a bit thing. So what I used to do was I used to go like, well, I need 8 hours sleep, okay? I need 8 hours sleep. I can get by with 7.5 hours, but 8 hours is my sweet spot. So I used to find, like, as long as I got 8 hours sleep in any 24-hour period, I would function better. My hunger hormones would be a little bit better. So if I was getting up at, say, 20 past 4 in the morning, which I did for a long time to go to the gym, then I would set my alarm for 8 hours back. So I would then go to bed about 8 o'clock. Give me 20 minutes to wind down, go to sleep. And I do it now. So I know that, you know, if I need to get up at 6 o'clock the next day, I will generally go to bed at least 9:30 p.m, 10 o'clock. Gives me my 8 hours, sometimes a bit more if I need it. What that does is it helps me regulate that hunger hormone ghrelin, because otherwise I'm going to find myself very, very hungry. So if I get up super early, or maybe at a later night, by the end of the afternoon, starving. And I'm not starving because I've eaten enough food, so it's fine. So that's really something you need to consider. And when you set that go to bed alarm, set it half an hour before you do to go to sleep. It gives you an opportunity to get a bit of a nighttime routine going on, where, you know, you turn your phones off, you turn the electronics off, because that has a massive impact. And I interviewed a light expert a few years ago. If I can find the video, I'll link it down below. And what she said was that if you're watching your phone or TV at night, the blue light that comes from it is a bit like caffeine for your brain. So even if you do go to sleep a little bit, your brain is still kind of like firing, okay? And that's why people recommend reading before bed, because it gets rid of that, you know, the stimulation, if you like, and lets you wind down. So that's kind of like, you know, something to be really aware of. So as a recap for this, you know, getting adequate rest and sleep is going to be super important for you if weight loss is a goal, and even if it's just to have more energy, to be more energized throughout the day. Having enough sleep is enough. And a lot of times I hear kind of people say, oh, you know, but it's the only time in the evening I get time to wind down. So yeah, but watching Facebook and watching TV isn't winding down. It's that sleeping is winding down, and you're not missing out on anything at all, right? And you just need to go to bed and go to sleep. You will feel much better, and when you feel much better, then that will give you like the dopamine rushes that you need, which is the feel-good hormones, to carry on doing it, because the cycle will get better. You go to bed earlier, you feel better, okay? All those things. It's really, really cool. So takeaway from this video is really, how does sleep affect your weight loss? Well, number one, it keeps your ghrelin in place, in check, so you don't become overly hungry. Helps you rest and repair, gives you more energy, and generally things get better. Will it happen overnight? Will you instantly feel more energized the next day? No. It might take a couple of months to get yourself into the rhythm of it, but over time, again, like weight loss, eating less calories, exercising more, you don't really get instant results from it, but the more you practice it, the better you get. So I hope you enjoyed the video. That's it from me. I'm going to be at school camp for next week, so I'll be a little bit quiet, but apart from that, guys, have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.